you know, I spend most of my day trying to have a good day. That's all. Not a great day, not the best day of my life, just a good day. Where I laugh, I eat, watch a little TV. But, it's just, well, that was a smelly one. But, see, I made myself laugh, which I do all the time. I laugh all the time. People must think I'm crazy when they see me laughing at myself. I usually laugh at myself more than anybody else. But, life is too short to take yourself so seriously, And I see men are very pissed off, and I would be too if I knew I was going to hell. And nobody saw Judgment Day as being in that way, and that was, I don't know how. I didn't read Judgment Day in the Bible, so I don't know what. I'm sure it was like out of this world, and it didn't happen that way. And the government, the news people, they all sealed your fate. So take it up with them, And the devil did it to you, you got to include that, and God did it too. He didn't want you, and he made sure he didn't get you. And, the devil's dick, right? Well, that's what you guys got. And he don't want it. He's got the women, and the women are very important. I mean, come on. The women carry the new generation in their womb. They go through all the horrors of childbirth, and they go through it like troopers. And they raise the children. They make sure the next generation is not so much a bunch of losers. And, they are losers now because the mother's gone to work. She's not at home. And she's not there with the phone has become the mother. When the mother has something to say, she texts the son or she texts the daughter. And that's how parenting is being done. And it's a shame. It's a real shame. The days of being able to run a family on one salary is just impossible. And, it's just, we don't have all the activities we had around a woman being home all day. The woman would send the kids off to get the kids up and ready in the morning and send them, give them breakfast. I mean, how many people their mother gives them breakfast today? It's very rare. They go to school, they get breakfast. And school's taking over the mother. And you wonder why our kids are like robots. They're in the robot factory. And that's why the Jews go to only Jewish schools, because they want their robots to be a certain way. They don't want to mix in different robots. That's like garbage in, garbage out to them, and they don't want that. So they pay the extra money to go to Jewish schools, and they bust them. Everything is contained. It's a self-contained system, and the Jewish women marry Jewish men, and and most Jewish men couldn't get laid if it wasn't like that. They wouldn't, and they have to have money because no girl would sleep with a Jewish man if they didn't have to, and that's why the Jew man is in control of everything, because he's really not in control, but he thinks he is, and the girls are smart enough to let him think he is, but he's not, and so that's just one system, the Amish, the Indians, they're all the same, they all have a self-contained system. The Amish, they kick out the sons when they reach 16, 17, because they don't want the competition, and the Amish marry the 16-year-old, 17-year-old daughter, and probably screwed them since they were 10, but, it's just, it's all about that crap, and the Amish think they're good people, and they're not. They're really not. They're really evil people, And God's going to punish them for what they did. And the Amish men are like everybody else. They're going to hell. You know, they didn't transfer any money. They don't have a zero bank account right now. And, you know, they're going to hell like everybody else. So, and the Amish women who got abused and treated like garbage, they're going to heaven. They're going to heaven with me. And they're going to have a great future. Great future. And the best thing is, before they die, they can stick it to the man the whole time they're here. I'm going to heaven, you're going to hell. I can see that. Yeah. Torture the little monkeys. Torture the monkeys. I mean, what do you do when you go to the monkey cage at the zoo? You torture them. You throw, that's what you got to do. They deserve it. They deserve every little bit of torture they get. And I see this more being beneficial for the young girls, because they're going to live as the queens that they are, and longer. It's like the older women have been abused most of their life because the men abused them in sexual and mental and physical and all different ways. That's all men do is to a woman is abuse them, and the only purpose for a woman is to abuse them, and it's just that day is over. The tables have turned. It's here. It's not coming. It's here. And there's no limit for what the woman can do to this world. And we're going to find out. And I hope they do make it a better world for the men. And in that way, stick it to the man. It's like, look how good we have it. You bastards could have done this, but you're so selfish and stupid and a bunch of monkeys, you couldn't do it. So, but we got control and we did it. And we made it better. And don't forget, you got a good example of what not to do by living under the men for so long. They taught you what not to do.